Hi, and welcome to the weekend edition of the 2021 Economic Recession and Preparation Channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Preach to me for the latest financial, pure, unadulterated financial news in Americas and sometimes beyond the world. Today's topic that we want to get right into is talking about the unemployment rate and the $15 minimum wage not included in the $1,400 stimulus. And a lot of people are catching cabin fever as this health crisis has dragged on much longer than anticipated. And I'm of the belief that we won't be fully done with this health crisis pandemic until at least 2025. So we got another 4 years to go. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, even with the vaccines that we know now, Pfizer saying that they want 3 doses. You take 3 doses, and it's going to go on and on and on as this has become a money-making thing for a lot of different entities. But that's a different video, a different topic for a different video. I got to be careful what I say as I am on YouTube here. So, guys, let's get right into it here. As you can see, life is not returning to normal here in every city in America, not just the small businesses that are hurt, but the small businesses are going to be even more damaged by the wages that are not going to be increasing. And here's what I mean. Inflation is coming to America, at least in the short term. Hyperinflation has already been here because what happens is the stock market has been in a bubble since 2008. That's 13, 14 years at a minimum. And the Federal Reserve Bank has been pumping money into the system to keep it alive, to keep this patient alive. And a lot of the Democrats and some of the Republicans have been voting for this $15 minimum wage. But the problem with that is that ends up killing small businesses now. Small businesses owners have been struggling to keep their heads above water as Congress looks to solutions to help the country recover from this crisis that we're going on. So everybody says, okay, let's raise the minimum wage. But now President Biden is saying that's not going to make it into his $1.9 trillion relief plan. So, and I can take it from both sides. Let's say they did raise the minimum wage. Now, this is going to be phased in over 4 years now. It's not going to automatically jump to $15 the next day. This is going to kill small businesses even further. They were already struggling with having to pay back these PPP loans, Paycheck Protection Program loans. Now, on top of that, they have to pay an increase in wages, and that increases the Social Security taxes and the other taxes that they have to pay already. Remember now, 60% of small businesses are not coming back after this pandemic, or they're closing their doors for good. And this is all over from DC to San Francisco, Chicago, Houston, all of the cities. Now, overall, there are 34% smaller businesses operating in the United States than this time last year. And we are 1 year exactly into this crisis. When we get March 1st, this first week of March here, we'll be 1 year into this health crisis and into this economic crisis, really. Now, listen, small businesses are the backbone of the U.S. economy, employing near half of workers. A $15 minimum wage will drive increased consumer spending to the benefit of small businesses. At the same time, workers making a fair wage are able and willing to work harder and be more productive. They're making a lot of assumptions here in this article, generating more value for business operators. Okay, so, but the thing is, the real living wage is at $30 an hour or above, at least in the American economy as it is, because everything is in the bubble. Food has went up. Gas. Have you guys been to the gas station lately? I went, and I'm in the Northeast, and the gas has up to $3 a gallon. The cheapest I could find was around $2.90 for regular. Diesel's already at $3.10, $3.15, and we're not even into the peak summer months yet of April, May, June, and July. So this is going to be an absolute disaster. Expect your gas to go up. Food is already going up. You go to any of these grocery stores, whether it's Safeway or Giants or Kroger's or you name it, Walmart. Get 2 or 3 bags and look at how much you got for what you got. And the prices have gone up for what you get. 2 or 3 bags, easily $60, $70, and you barely have 1 or 2 meals to feed your family. So real inflation is outpacing wages anyway in America. And so that's not going to matter because a real income has not risen. That is the problem. See, they're saying a $15 minimum wage by 2025, that's 4 years away, which I just told you, would generate $107 billion in higher wages for workers. But at the same time, what they're forgetting to tell you is that means higher taxes. higher taxes on small businesses, higher taxes on your loans that you have to take out for cars, houses, insurances, everything. And so it's like the more you make, the more Uncle Sam takes away. Same thing with overtime. More overtime you do, the more Uncle Sam takes away. So really, you basically, it's a zero-sum game here with rising this, and they know that. Now, CNBC also was reporting that Carlyle Rubenstein says the biggest concern economic risk is high unemployment, not stock market speculation. I think a lot of economists have come to the conclusion that they know the stock market is going to implode or correct by at least 30%. So that's no surprise. It's just the when. Everybody's wondering when is it going to be because of this bond market? That's the T notes, the 10-year Treasury bonds is increasing to 1.4 to 1.5%. Is it going to become high? Is it going to be because of high unemployment or high taxes? Maybe the Federal Reserve Bank is going to reverse course and start raising these interest rates. So that's going to totally implode the economy. So he says, quote, I think on the whole, the stock market is not our biggest problem. The biggest problem is all these people that are out of work, not market speculation. Rubenstein agrees with Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who has repeatedly said that a major relief package is needed to boost the economic recovery. Okay. He's right and he's wrong. And this is what I'm going to tell you about this article here. The biggest problem is the unemployment rate, meaning that the more people we have, unemployment is hovering around 10% in America right now. But we really know the real unemployment, according to shadowstocks.com, is at 22%. Okay, so what's going to happen is that when people are out of work and when the food gets low, when the food on the shelves starts getting low in these grocery stores and everything, because remember, the United States still has a huge trade deficit with China. When the food gets low, when the shelves get empty and people are out of work at home and their kids are home too, they can't quite get everybody back to school around in the country here, from the Midwest to the west to the out east. That's when the crime goes up, and that's when they're going to have big problems on their hands, because civil unrest is coming to America as a result of when the food goes low and when they can't get supply shortages are going to come. Supplies shortages already. Like, people were telling me that they couldn't get generators in Texas. They couldn't get bottled water. These things matter. When you don't have food, water, electricity coming to your neighborhood like they had in Texas, that's when the problems come with crime, looting, because people are going to survive no matter what, and they're going to take whatever you have or think you have, stored, minus your security. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm telling you is that civil unrest is coming. Crime is going up because high unemployment is going to be here for the next 10 years. Rubenstein knows that. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen knows that. So they're going to pump as much money as they can into our pockets now before the crash. Before the dollar loses its value, which is inevitably going to happen because all fiat currencies eventually go to zero. And that's why it's important to transfer some of your money out into more hard, physical, tangible assets. The most important physical, tangible assets is really land, physical goods, things that you can barter with. Like I said, generators, lights, solar-powered lights. Even things that we don't really think of too much, like blue tarps for people's houses to repair. Those blue tarps you get at Harbor Freight Tools and other places. Those are going to be very valuable. Chainsaws, rope, paracord rope. All these survival things that people take for granted. Those things are going to be in short supply because they're not going to be coming from the two biggest manufacturers of goods and services that we get, which is from India and China. And so, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a lot of frustration that's going to be setting in for Americans. Either they cannot get the vaccine, they're working from home, they cannot get the vaccine, even though they've been saying on TV that there's hundreds of millions available. Kids are going to be frustrated because they cannot go back to school and see their friends. Parents are going to be frustrated because they have to work from home and they're asked to do more work from home than they were at the office. And we could see internet outages because there's so much bandwidth that they've only allocated that's going to be used. So how are you going to be prepared for that? And so those are the things that we'll think about moving forward. High unemployment, less wages, and high inflation in the short term. Once we get through this period of high inflation, which is going to be in about 2 years into President Biden's term, right? By 2023, deflation is going to set in. Deflation is already here, but it's just that the asset bubble has to pop. Once the asset bubble pops, because houses are overvalued, commercial real estate is overvalued, and this whole economy is overvalued, basically, then we're going to see massive deflation. And those who will have the cash, the resources, whether in physical resources, like I said, in land and broader ability and other things, are going to be the ones who comes out the winners in this. So just hang tight, continue to prepare, because it's almost here. It's here, but it's just that the system is already crashed. It's just that they're covering it up right now with these stimulus. But stimulus will run out, ladies and gentlemen. $1,400 is not life-changing money for the majority of the 40 million Americans who are unemployed right now, and those who do have a job. $1,400 is not going to change your life in any big way. So unless you win the lottery or come in for some money or something like that. So just keep preparing. We're going to get back to life as normal. But first, we have to get through this trying time that we're in right now. Be blessed. Stay blessed. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next video tomorrow. Have a blessed day.